How's it going, everybody? Let's make sure we're up and running. How's it going? How's it going, traders? Everybody know we're live. Give people a second to come on. How was y'all's day? You can talk in YouTube or on Discord. I'm watching both of them. YouTube probably preferred, just easier. So I'm just looking at one screen, but feel free to hit it on both of them. We'll kick it off. How was y'all's week? Hey, what's going on? How was your week? Get any trading done? Smart trading, hopefully. I tell you, I felt a lot like I was just a Tesla trader this week, with the exception of a little bit of Fidelity. Hey. Or, sorry, with a little bit without a little bit of, what's the thing I'm looking for? Green, toxic free, good. Other than some Facebook and stuff, I pretty much just sat around and waited for breakdowns in Fidelity, I'm tired. Tesla, I keep talking about that. Good job, CT. It was a really good way to start 2022, which is weird for us. Which is really weird for us because it's usually we're not as good put traders. Not that we're not good at them, but usually we make our money in calls. And like, am I wrong? Like most of the time we make our money in calls. So it was crazy to actually make solid money in puts all week. I had a really good week. Sub 10, good. I'm glad you made money in it too. Did the videos I did this week on Tesla puts, and yeah, I trade longs the same way, but were those helpful for y'all to kind of get? I know some people do it, some people might do it better than me, but was some of that was it kind of helpful? Good. Good. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Welcome to, I mean, we're already going, but, just formally, your general, what's the word I'm looking for? Your general disclosure that, the information I give here should be taken as entertainment only and, education if you want to see it as education. I'm not a professional. I'm not offering you professional advice. You're responsible for all the trades you take, win or losses. You assume all responsibility for whatever you do with anything that I say here. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Welcome to Gator Show. This is the number 19. What'd y'all think about the intro? That's pretty sweet. Question, could y'all hear noise, or was it just straight without it? First time doing an intro, and I tried to get it through Steam, or through this. Could you actually hear something? Thanks. Ditter did it. He's in the Discord and some other places. He's doing some work for me behind the scenes. Good. So glad y'all liked it. I think there's a little bit of delay. I'm asking a couple times. I think there's a delay from when I talk and when I see stuff. So sorry if I'm saying it. I'm just noticing that. Yeah, there's definitely a delay from when I say stuff and when stuff happens. That makes it really annoying. I'm gonna have to mess around. Yeah, it's probably my mic settings. I'll play around with a lot of this stuff. I'll probably go live over the weekend and just mess with my settings to practice on here. But I got some stuff like this where I can cut to stuff like this. It looks a little bit more professional, I think, than me just dragging stuff around everywhere. So I can go back and do stuff like that. So I just realized that there is a delay from me talking to what I see from you guys. So I'll make sure that I kind of space out what I say and give people time to answer. I'll see if you can kind of extend it a little bit, a few seconds. So, like I said, a lot of new stuff coming. I'm going to be spending a decent amount of time making videos and making this content better for y'all and for other people on there, covering a range of different topics, and just trying to put out quality stuff, helping people get better, helping people improve their trading, or watch me trade smart and trade stupid. I think we're going to get plenty of opportunities to see both of them. I showed some videos this week of me making a lot. I did not do that to brag on P&L. It's something I actually don't care to do. The only reason I did it was to go through what you could do to show what's possible and to show how these strategies work and how you can play them or adapt how you play them live for people to learn and then to put into use. Because a lot of times, if he was like, it's just impossible to make money, or it's hard to make money, or I always miss the move, and then I try this, and then I try this, and I can't figure it out. So I wanted to actually show it live to show how I'm making profits in it. And I had 2 videos, and if I chose to review another one tonight, you would pretty much see the same thing every day this week. Roughly everything was basically the same how I played Tesla. It played the same every day. And the trick was, at the start of, and we're not going to talk about Tesla all day. Sorry, we're not going to talk about Tesla all show. I'm going to talk about some other stuff, but I just want to hit this to start off for those of you who are wondering. Let's do my fancy, fancy little this over here. So if we scroll, what did I say on mic? Me, Rose, CT, when we were in here. Y'all can see my cursor, correct? I assume. I know there's a delay, so I'm assuming you can see my cursor. Say no if you can't. So in here, I was saying, I'm not trading, I'm not trading, I'm not trading. When I was down here, I was like, I'm not trading this, I'm not trading this, I'm waiting, I'm waiting. And if we went back and reviewed some live footage of this, you would just see me not doing anything. You would kind of just see me hanging out and waiting for something to happen, waiting for the flush. That has been the trick to Tesla literally all week. Was not trading it until you had a break. Well, I'd say break up or break down, but let's be realistic. It was always a breakdown this week. And once it broke, and I mean the 2-minute low was here. This is a 1 minute, so this is a 2-minute low. Once it broke here, which you can see it kind of times up with the, this is the day opening, or yesterday's close. It broke the 2-minute low. Then you get some actual flushes on some volume. Not a ton of volume here, but you actually get a flush. It pops back up to the 8, you get a know your limit 8, it flushes. Pops back up to the 8, you get another know your limit 8, and it flushes. Notice a trend? And then you can sit here and pretty much just scalp this all the way down. I think sometimes it was easier and sometimes it was harder. But that was basically Tesla, and that was basically my day, and that was basically my week. And other weeks, there are other names that are working and things that we trade a lot better. But for the most part, that was it. And the trick, I think, to being green early was not getting red. And a lot of people are saying, it's hard, or you got to come out swinging. The trick this week for me wasn't coming out swinging. It was waiting for something to actually set up and being patient with my setups and being patient with my trades. And that helped me be more consistent. That helped me not deal with having to come back at the end of the day. It was just like, just wait, just wait, just wait. Okay, stuff started happening, and then you just kind of hit it hard. Patience, 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 and then you just smack the crap out of it, and then you stop. And I tried to do a good job. I know CT did a good job, Rose did a good job, and those on the mic. Mitchell was sick this week, and Boof has had some issues with his mic, but I think they did a good job of like telling people when stuff was working and when it wasn't, and laying off and saying wait for this or wait for that, and hopefully we helped you guys remain non-toxic and helped you identify some setups. So I have no idea what next week is going to hold. I don't really care. Um, Actually, let's, before we get started to this week, before we start talking about next week and other things, cheers to this week. Cheers to your trading. I hope you all had a fantastic week, and whether or not you made money, I hope at least you were consistent and that you were not toxic going into the weekend. It's not about making it all in one day or one week. It's about consistency over an extended period of time, and that's going to get you to where you need to go. So good job. Good job, Benders. Proud of you guys. Whether you were red or green, however much you made, very proud of you guys. Just looking at a chart, point up some different things. No, I don't think I'll do. I can if some people want me to review some review some stuff. Yeah, there's definitely a big lag. I can review some of my trades. I can jump through a video and stuff while we're on here, and I can pull up some stuff and watch a few breakdowns during the day, some wins that I had, some losses that I had over the last couple days. But I think the focus, at least for the start, we're going to talk a little bit about long-term success. And I don't remember everything that I wanted to talk about, but me and CT were talking at the end of the day. And you were talking some about last January and what you made and how much, how well you did and how good of a month you did. And, I had about the same month as CT did last January. It was a really good month. And I really, for me, when I got to that $25,000 level, and this isn't the same way for everyone, and so I say this with a caveat that you should really, everyone is different. And like we've talked about before, everybody has a different set of expectations, and everybody has a different mindset towards trading and a different approach and a different risk tolerance. And everybody brings a different level of baggage to their trading. And we all have different things that we have to deal with. We don't all deal with the same things. We don't all struggle with the same things. And what is difficult is that everybody can't expect to break out on the same curve. For me, it was as soon as I hit that $25,000, $30,000 level, and I just happened to hit it at a time when Tesla was going up last December and last January. And it just steadily went. Just absolutely went. And I caught a lot of it, and it set me up, and I don't believe in luck. I believe in providence. So, it was just providentially that time. But I still trade that way. I think part of the reason I was able to trade that way, and I'm still able to trade that way, is because, like some other people, I did not have a lot of baggage, negative trading baggage that I brought in to what I do. Into trading. I had known some stuff, and it's like, you know the patterns, and you try to learn some of the basic stuff. But every time I would be in a different room, and you would watch the people, you would listen to them talk, you would trade some, in these other rooms that do the 2-to-1 stop loss, risk reward, 10 different names in the morning, and, they say they take all of them, and 2 of them work, and everyone that took the 2 of them posts to Twitter saying how much money they made. And the rest of people are like, well, I just wish I would have picked the wrong name. And you always felt like you're right there about to break out, but you almost needed like $1 million to just put 100,000 in each name and take the stop losses on the right ones and all this stuff. And but even when being in 1 or 2 of those rooms, I never picked up a lot of losses because I didn't have really the money to put into it, and I didn't, like, I couldn't just watch it, and it didn't just make sense to me as far as this is just an easy way to make money. I can do this. This makes sense. I can pick it up really quickly. There's not this random pattern that it seems like I have to predict what a Head and Shoulders or this is or all these different things. And they are legit, and they do work, and some of these patterns and stuff. And it's important I don't say it's important. It's something you can know. You can definitely figure out, and it can help you. But people would call out stuff like that, and I never thought I could make money doing it consistently, at least. And it always felt like you were almost there. And then I found the Newsbeat live room. Well, my dad found it, showed it to me. I joined it and started going, and it was like instantly so simple. These C strategies, but it was so simple to me, and I was able to jump in and trust it because I didn't have a toxic mindset of 10, 20, 30 plus years of losing. Yeah, he's probably right. Magda is saying new traders are failures. We're not dumb, or we haven't lost enough to understand yet, I guess. So I had to learn by I had to learn the fear part after making the money, not before. And I was blessed to be in this community and to get my start here because I didn't have all that baggage from before. And it was like, hey, here's a Mark 1, here's a Know You Eliminate, here are these different strategies, they work. And then I just started trading them and they worked. And so it was almost like a complete commitment to, oh, this is it. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to try this out. I don't really care if I win or lose, in a sense. Like, I did care, but I didn't really care. And that was me personally, and it was just almost a complete jumping in after I understood them and I could identify them and I paper traded them and I got acclimated to the room. Other people don't have that experience. Some people have 10, 20 years, 15 years of blowing out accounts, of doing it and blowing out account and doing it and blowing out of an account. They have toxicity from being scared of losing, from never having that consistent winning, that consistent always winning, always just like, man, this is just easy. What do you mean? You know, they can't trust a strategy. They can't trust a trade when they get into it. So they're there, they see something, and there's hesitation on the buy. Or there's, I don't know if this one's going to do it. I don't know if this one's going to do it. There's something I don't like about this one. And you almost talk yourself out of a trade. You find a reason not to take a trade. You overanalyze. Well, I have all these 50 different strategies that I never made money on, and chart patterns in the back of my head telling me that this isn't going to work, or whatever it is. When some people, like myself, didn't necessarily have that. I was like, oh yeah, this is a Mark 5. I'm in. Boom. Oh, that's up 2-3 points. Sell. And it was just like instantly that simple. But for some people, it's not that simple. For some people, it's a lot harder than that. And you have all of this other baggage to get through and to get over. What's the number one way to get over that baggage? What's the number one way to actually improve, to actually get to where you can trade and you can do it consistently without that hesitation and that fear? And I'll probably start getting answers. You can go ahead and type them. I'll probably start getting answers as I answer it. So I'll try to talk slow here. It's winning, and it's consistency, and it's taking over that negative mindset with positive, like with a positive mindset and with positive outcomes. And here comes some of the answers in Discord, I think. It's not winning. It's not coming in and slamming something and hitting home runs, in my opinion. And as y'all type stuff, I'll say what you say if you're not typing in YouTube. It's consistency. It's being able to hit those wins and hit those wins and hit those wins, and not big ones. Sometimes those small days where when at the end of the month you look back and you see consistency and you see it working. Not you see it for a week, because the trick is if you see it for a week, then the next week you come and you hit it harder, you slam, you forget what you're supposed to be doing, and you're not trading intelligently, and you hit stuff hard and you lose. You're still training those bad habits and negative thoughts in your head. you're still having that reinforced that you're not good enough, or the market's out to get you, and every time you buy you lose, and every time this happens and the market makers, as soon as you bought, they tank that because they hate you, and the stock gods hate you, and all this other stuff and you just can't do it, and all this dumb stuff that's in your head, and it's there for a reason, because you've trained it, because you've consistently get beat. There's this science study that they did about monkeys playing a game, and y'all have probably heard it before, but I'll say it just for those who haven't. If two primates are playing a game and one primate always wins, then the primate that loses is eventually going to not want to play the game anymore. But if he keeps winning, or if he wins a few times, he'll constantly have that hope that he can continue to do it. But he doesn't always have the but it doesn't mean he's better, and it doesn't mean he can always win. So in order to want to keep doing this, you have to get some wins. You have to find something that's making you think that you want to keep going. So how do you reinforce something that makes you want to do it, that makes you trust the system, that makes you want to trade and want to win? CT said it in Discord. Tear down, track your trades, and use something like Trader Sync to visualize your consistency. It's consistency. Other people say consistency. Look back, add up those wins. Never try to get to where you want to be a year from now. Just try to be green, like Tim's saying, and be consistent over and over and over. And then when you look back at, or as you're doing that, you're building up confidence in yourself. You're building up that, like, I got this, and then you're going to have a down day, but the down days are going to be 10% of the time, not 60% of the time or 50% of the time. And then you got this, and you got this, and then before long, you're looking at it and you're like, this ain't anything. This isn't nothing. Like, I got this. This is like pretty easy. I'm starting to identify these trades because I don't have toxicity. I don't have negative emotions in my head when I sit down at the computer thinking, I'm going to lose money today. Thinking like yesterday, I'm going to lose 10 grand. I'm going to tilt. I'm going to do this. You're just sitting down. You're thinking about smart trades. The OODA loop is working. You're observing what's going on. You're taking intelligent setups. And you're not hurting yourself before you even get started. Believe it or not, there's no goblins out to get you. There's ways to win, and that there's ways to lose. And throughout the day, if you guys were watching today when I was trading Tesla and when I called stuff out early, there were times when I said, I'm giving this room, and now it's going to go. Here's what I meant when I said, I'm giving this room. So back to the chart. When I am playing, I guess I could actually go and do a video, but I didn't pause it at a place. I don't want to take time scrolling through, so I'll maybe do some stuff over the weekend or something. But when I'm playing these 1 minute breakdowns, like this trigger here, or these one and dones, I don't give one and dones a lot of room. Because you're playing the momentum. And Geronimo said this the other day to somebody, so I'm repeating it. And when a slingshot, let's pretend that this is a slingshot in Tesla here, and it's whipping quickly. This was actually a slow move. Look at the volume, but I'm going to pretend it was going fast. You don't want to give a slingshot time to whip around if it's in the middle of that whip and that move. If it's going, you want to catch it and get out. You want to catch it and ride that wave. You want to ride that surf. If you're on a wave and that wave is breaking, you want to ride it a little bit. So you want to get on at the right time, and you want to go. You don't want to sit there and get whipped around in a whip, generally speaking. But if it's popping up, now let's say it's popping up here, and it's getting ready, and you still think it's going to go down because the momentum's going down, it's going up on decreasing volume, all this other stuff. It hit a setup, and it's going to go down, and you're going to be able to take that setup. Let's say you buy it right here as this candle starts ticking down, and you get a decent fill. And you kind of start, it doesn't whip around, like it's not whipping up and it's not knocking you out, but it's kind of chopping around a little bit. And let's say it's been 5 or 10 seconds. I give that trade sometimes a little bit more room than I do, let's say, if I was trying to catch this green trade and I want another big red bar or something, or this trade, and I'm trying to catch that continuation. I don't give the continuation a lot of room. I give this a lot of room on a setup. When the ticker has slowed down a little bit and it starts trending in that direction, I don't give it a ton in Tesla, but you could give it a little bit more, because that gives you that opportunity to kind of, it's a slingshot loading back up again. Everything slowed down. The wave is about to break, but it hasn't broken. It's riding up, and it's going to crash. You want to get on before it crashes. You don't want to get on after it crashes, because you could get thrown really quick. You want to get on before it crashes, so sometimes you have to give it a little room. That is something, if you're free of toxicity, in the sense of you're very confident in your trading abilities, and you've been doing it long enough, and you're doing what CT's saying in Discord, like you're tracking your trading. You maybe have a calendar on your wall where you write down plus or minus, so you can't lie to yourself about, you know, what you did right or wrong, and you always have to look at that big red number or that whatever number, and your goal is just focused on consistency and seeing less red days than green days, and having all those green days add up. If you're able to do that, you'll build confidence with the average, like he's saying, of winning days over time. And then you're not going to be sitting there focused on the mental side, like, of your scaredness in the market, your frustration, I'm scared if I'm going to make this. I don't know if I'm going to make this. What if I miss this move? What if I do this? What if I miss this and it doesn't work, and then I'm down a grand? What am I going to do? Or, you know, all these different things that happen. You're able to see more clearly because you're just looking at what you know, which is the strategies in front of you. You're remembering what worked last time. So let's say if I go back to, I like using this transition thing, don't you guys? I'm learning how to stream. So let's say you're here and you noticed, and if you're clear and you're not mad that you missed a move, so let's say you missed a move. So we're going to say that you're a little bit more of a hyper trader and you missed a move. So Tesla did this, and then it popped back up here, and then it did this. Now this big volume bar is what you want to see. We've talked about this, probably not on one of these shows, but this is your igniting bar. So we've got this big volume bar. We missed this move. This was, let's say, made 2 points, missed 2 points. Everyone's chatting that they got it. You missed it. This one up here, it chopped around. It didn't go in 2 seconds or 5 seconds like you wanted it to, and then it tanked. What do? A frustrated trader, somebody who's toxic, or is not just focused on examining the market, finding what did and didn't work, maybe changing what they lost on that last trade a little bit, you know, adapting live and kind of changing as you go. Okay, now Tesla's back up here. It comes back up to the 8, and it kind of sits around for a minute. That other trader may be like scared to, maybe they size up. Maybe they, but buy too many times in here because they think the next one's going to break down, and now they lost 2 points or something, and then they get in here and it drops. And you can see this candle, it didn't break down actually. This one went over here and popped up and then went down, so this was a harder play. But maybe they bought it here, it goes over, it pops up, and then it pulls down on them and they lose again. Something that could very easily happen, and may even have happened to some of the people who are trading here. A trader who is, I don't even know the word to say, I just say mentally clean, or that is a clear-minded trader who doesn't have something interrupting his OODA loop, can start to identify those things as the day is happening, and can be like, okay, like I need to give the trade a little bit more time. I need to enter a little bit sooner. I need to enter a little bit later. I need to take the money sooner. You know what, there's a lot of downtrend. There's some triggers nearby. Maybe if I do this, this will happen. And you can start trying to live tweak, not change your strategies, because the strategies are the C strategies. The strategies are not, they don't change, but how you play them changes. How you enter them changes. You know, how you adapt as you're going might shift one way or another based on how it is acting that day. And if you have a clean head going into it, because over the course of the month, you've built up a lot of wins, when something starts working, you can just slam into it. You can start you can start finding ways to make it work, and you have confidence, like, yo, I see this, and you can hit it. That's how last December and January I basically became a full-time trader. Was I had been winning for 5 months, and I took an $8,000 account to about 30 grand over the course of 5 to 6 months, with some, you know, ups and downs in there. and it was slow, and it was steady, and it was consistent. And then when I got there, I had so much faith in what I was doing. I had so much faith in the strategies because I had 6 months of confidence built up behind me. It's not like someone handed me the money. It's not like I was just there. It was like I had that confidence in the strategies that I didn't even have to think. When Tesla was going up for Mark 1s, I was like, okay, 20 contracts. Because it was working. It was just blowing out, and there was this volume. The level 2 was just shooting through the roof, and then it would reset on another Mark 1 or a 1 and done, and I was like, okay, I'm in. Mark would come on. My first video, Soups, my first video is OODA Loop, and I'll make another one if you go back to my show. Is on OODA Loop. But to what I was saying, and I had so much of that confidence there that it didn't make a difference. And I could just take them. But that's what you have to have, and that's what you have to... that's the mental mindset that you have to get to. But it's not something that can be faked. A lot of things you can kind of fake the funk. You can't really fake the funk in confidence, because it's going to mess with your ability to make really good trades. And OODA Loop just means observe, orient, decide, act. You could Google it and look up and read some on it yourself. If you watch my first show, the first show I talk about, or some of the first shows, might not be the first one, but I have some videos talking about OODA Loop. I can post them. I'll send it to you. But your ability to do that is going to allow you to be a better trader. Not that you want to, than the people around you. It's going to help you see things and not be the what-if trader. Because instead of having something interrupt your OODA Loop and interrupt the observing of what's happening in your day, your orientation to the proper names and trades, the decision of taking the trade, and then as soon as you decide, you act. Like when y'all hear me talk through these trades, it's like boom, 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 doing this. I don't like it here. I don't like it here. I don't like it here. What am I doing? I'm not even to the decide or act. It's like no, no, no. Okay, guys. All right, here we go. Watching this. It's sitting still. All right, it's starting to tick down. I'm in right about here. This area is a kind of a good area to get in. And bam. And that's what's going through my head while I'm doing this all the time. So the only way to get to that point, and it's not to be like me. You don't want to be like me. It doesn't matter. Like, you are you, and you are going to find a way to do it the way you trade. But in order to figure that out, and to not try to mimic, or to not try to copy somebody else, or to not try to force something and just make a lot of money, is to do what CT is saying in Discord and people are saying in different places, is consistency. Winning, 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 winning. And you can go look up the amount of scientific studies that they have talking about the psychology of winning, and the books that they've written on it, and what winning does to the mind, and all this other stuff. It will completely shift your mindset and the way you view the market and the way you see things when you start winning. And even for me, so like mid-year in December or mid-year, I don't remember when, I had a couple bad months, and I had some times when it was rough trading, and I had some bills coming in because I bought a new house and all this other stuff, and like I had to buckle down and refocus, because I was gonna blow out. I was like, yo, I gotta, like, not there yet, like I'm fine, but it's like I can't keep doing this. Like I don't feel that I can win anymore. Why can't I win? And as a trader, you're gonna hit those lows, I think, and you can definitely hit them throughout a year or a month or a week span where you just like feel like you're wrecked and you can't pick a winning trade. You couldn't pay the market to pay you, and you can get back in that. How did I get out of that? I stopped and I just made a trade that was going to win. I sized down so much from what I was doing and just started adding green days together. And instead of going for these big 5-figure days, 4-figure days, like some of the videos I posted, it was just, hey, $500, $1,000, $2,000. I know it's like I'm not, and just small win. Okay, I'm green, I'm done. It's literally like, hey, I'm up $1,000. It's 15 minutes in, I'm off. Log off, walk away, go do something else. Go do something else. It was literally like that. I didn't adapt with the market was what I did wrong, Brent. And if you guys can tell how much of a delay there is, I'll fix this on the next stream. Sorry about that. But what I was doing wrong was I didn't adapt when the market was shifting. What I needed to be doing at that time was entering and giving the trade room a little bit more and then letting it go. I actually quit trading names like Tesla, and I was trading names like Facebook and AMD and NVIDIA, where I kind of got them and held them a little bit longer for runs. It's about the time I made the stochastic videos and stuff, when kind of that stuff started coming out, and I found ways to kind of play things differently. But it was through that learning experience and that having to force myself to win again that I became a better trader. And it wasn't that I was totally losing, but in a sense I was, because I wasn't having the months that I needed, and my confidence was shot. So I began to change what I was doing, and that cleared up my head again to allow me to start putting together consistent wins. October, August, October, in that time frame, Jess. Don't remember the exact month. I'd have to go back and look. But around that time, I had to do that. And making those changes, no, I did not make back the P&L that I lost, which was a six-figure loss, or losses over the course of however long. But what it did was it allowed me to then set up and trade intelligently for the future, and trade intelligently for when something happened. So what I ended up doing was putting together a lot of small days. I think I put together a month of pretty much all green days, or 2 or 3 weeks, and then I started feeling good about myself again. And I started feeling, okay, it's not the market gods aren't out to get you. It's not the gremlins that are literally seeing you click the button and they push things in the opposite direction. It allowed me to see what I was doing wrong. It allowed me to adjust a little bit. It allowed me to be like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And when I did that, then some months happened when some good stuff started taking off, like in November. November, I had my biggest month of the year. Absolutely killed it. It was like I couldn't lose, until after Thanksgiving. And then I had like one red week, and I was like, what the? And I didn't shift with the market. I didn't fix myself. Thankfully, I didn't give back that much, but it was like one of those things. The only way I would have had those big months, November and it was October. Sorry, one of my kids is waking up. I'm hoping they stay down. Otherwise, I may have to run upstairs super fast just to put them down. I'll give him just a second. Always interrupting the live stream. My wife went to bed, so I'm just giving him a second to get down. But he seems to be down for now. We'll see. And even me, as someone who is then doing it full time, it takes that ability to you still have to have that clear mindset. I'm not an automatic trader. I can lose. If I lose focus and I start acting stupid and taking bad trades and sizing into things that aren't good, I can lose too. And I can blow it. Just because I can have a good day or something doesn't mean jack squat, because I can lose it faster than I can win it. But keeping that mindset every single day, to where right now, this month, I look, so far this year, I'm green every day. I'm not going to be green every day in the year. I have no doubt I'm going to have red days. But looking back, I'm okay. Like, I feel pretty good about this year. I'm usually not a good puts trader. They usually don't trade as well. You know what? So I'm going to give it a little bit. But right now, I feel pretty confident. I feel pretty good. I feel like I'm seeing the market really well. And that's what I want to be able to do. And that's what I care about going through this next year, is just being able to see what I do really well, not be scared of the money, winning or losing, because scared money doesn't make money, but instead just being able to look at it and be like, okay, this is good, okay, this is good, and adjusting with the market. And the way I've adjusted so far is every day this week, I've been on the mic being like, wait, 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 telling guys, like, when this is happening here and you're in this zone, and it's not above the first 2-minute high, it's not below the first 2-minute low, and it's just chopping around, or it's just going sideways, and you've got no igniting bar, no increasing volume, and it's just a chop zone, sit on your freaking hands. I've been able to do that, and and it's kept me green. It's kept me green so far, and that's been the best thing for me. And I wouldn't be able to do that if I didn't have confidence in myself as a trader. So going back to what we started talking about at first, if you're one of those traders and you're one of those people that are trying to get out, and you heard me and CT talking about success and what happened with us, and you want to get there and you want to do all this, let the process work. Let the wins add up and build your confidence to where it's not to where you can do it and it's not even a second thought. Like, you just feel good in the trades and it happens naturally because you're just consistent over an extended period of time, and to where you can adjust and to where you can change. And yes, you're going to have hard times and hard months, and that's why this room is here. That's why I'm doing these shows. That's why people are chatting. That's why there's other people watching this. We help each other out and we identify things that are working so we can all adjust and find something and maybe see the market better and see the market more clean and more clearly. So trust the people around you. Be in a good community, and don't yeah, go ahead, Anya, whatever the delay is, I'll answer your question when you go there. And really quick over here, Graph asks, do you recommend staying away from names like Tesla when you're getting yes and no. I'm not gonna, that's a hard, drop my pen, that's a hard one, because I'd like to say no, because I find Tesla very easy to trade, but I would say yes unless it's trending really well. Like, if you're seeing something that's working and you're watching Tesla and you feel comfortable, then if you feel comfortable with it and you feel comfortable with what you could lose, first size down, very small size, if you're practicing with it with like one contract and you're okay with losing $200, and if you're cool with a 2-point loss or a 1-point loss on one contract, which one contract is $100, then trade Tesla if that's not going to bother you, if you like that. If losing that money would make you uncomfortable, then yeah, try something else. It's about finding things that you're confident and comfortable with. And if Tesla makes you uncomfortable and you don't trust it, then don't trade it. But it's all about you. I can't give you a solid, like, I don't really have a recommendation for that. Mainly, it's the most dangerous. It can be very dangerous. So just understand the danger of what you're playing with if you take something like Tesla. And for you guys who are like CT, any of the mods, if y'all are free to answer questions in Discord, because there's a delay, and I didn't realize I had a delay set on this stream, so I'm seeing everything a little bit late. Yeah, you can do that too. And you can do these strategies with shares. And you could build up wins with shares. It's just with a small account under 25,000, you can't, because it'll take 3 days for your cash to settle. Options settle that same day. That's why these strategies are so good. You get to trade every single day when you use options. So for small account people like myself, and when I started and others, they're very, very efficient. Yeah, you can even go out of the money. And I know you can still ask your question, and I'll answer. So for what I was saying, sorry, I get sometimes distracted. Definitely avoid Amazon. I wanted to, because there's a lot sometimes of P&L focus and how long it's going to take me to get there, and hearing people like, I just say me and CT or Boof or Rose and people who are doing all this and are successful. Like, I want that and I want it now. If you want to get there, the absolute fastest way to get there is to create confidence in your ability as a trader. Gain confidence. If you can gain confidence, you can definitely do what I do, because there's nothing special about me. I don't have a degree in this. I don't have anything crazy. It's just something that I've learned and that I have a lot of confidence in. I have a lot of confidence in my ability to take these trades, to make money on these trades, and because of that, I'm not afraid to take them. I'm never afraid to buy a Mark 5. I'm never afraid to buy a Know Your Limit 8. I'm never taking size enough to where it's going to wreck me anymore, and I'm never taking enough size to where it's like it's going to make me or break me. And I have confidence that it's going to work, and if it doesn't work, I don't care. There's a reason I can come on the mic and talk about making trades, and I'm not afraid of losing. The only thing that worries me when I'm doing this is that other people will get hurt, so I'm very cautious. But I'm not afraid of saying I like this setup and it not working, because I have confidence in it working. I know I'm going to be wrong. I accept the fact that I'm going to be wrong probably, I don't know, a lot when I'm trading. Losses are part of trading. And when you're a toxic trader, losses are a bad thing. I mean, they're not good now to me. It's not like, yay, I got a loss. But losses are part of trading to me, to where I don't even consider them bad, in the sense of I lose, I don't think about it unless I'm losing a lot. Like if in the middle of a run I take a loss, or a contract happens and I kind of bad PI and I lose one, I'm not scared off because I lost. Or if I had a red day, I'm not scared or anything like that. I just shake it off and I look at the next trade and I just wait for the next setup. I'm like, okay, here we go. Here's the next one. And you'll definitely get that by consistently winning. And so because this is the first week of the year, and because people are year goals and you're thinking about where you want to be and what you want to do this year, you want to be consistent. And if you're consistent, and right now you don't even look at or focus on making any amount of money, you just focus on consistent, intelligent trading, not trying to catch me or somebody else, before you know it, you'll be blowing past anything you thought was possible. And it's not because there's some, secret, because there's no secret. That's the secret. Consistency until you're able to identify trends in the market, and you're able to take them with confidence and let them work for you. And then you'll know when you need to hold a trade longer and when you don't need to hold a trade. You'll be catching those big moves because you'll just have built up that much confidence in yourself and in your abilities and in what different things look like and how you're identifying them, that you can make those steady changes, and that you can kind of have all that stuff working for you. And instead of walking on into the market being like, oh man, the freaking grid line, I just can't win, and starting off, let's say you start off 2K down. If I start off 5K down right now, I don't even think about it. It's not because I have a lot of big green days. 5,000 is a lot to lose. It's just like, I mean, it's part of, sometimes it's like, okay, I need to settle in and make smart trades. It's like, oh man, I can't win. I'm all this stuff and I'm mad, and I gave back, whatever. It's just, hey, took some bad setups. All right, let's refocus. Is there anything breaking out? No. Why did I lose? Because I'm an idiot and it's not above the first 1 or 2 minute high. There's no igniting volume. There's no any of this other stuff. Okay. All right, I just need to wait. I need to stop being an idiot, sit on my hands, patience, size down. All right, now we got something working. And then I start trading what's working. It stopped working. All right, stop, wait an hour, find something else. If you can catch a 1-point trade every 15 minutes, you can make a living doing this. If you can only do like 1 or 2, if you just took 5-minute breakouts, you could just scalp 5-minute breakouts. You could just do 2-minute green takes reds or red takes green all day and make money. So find something, find consistency, lock in consistency, and then lock in profits. And I can't tell you how quickly $1 and $200 days will turn into $1 and $2,000 days if you just have a ton of green days. Looking back on a calendar, if you have 2 months of $100 to $500 days and they're all green, they're not going to stay there for long. And CT can probably attest to this, and other people who are in here, whenever this chat catches up, can attest to this. Let them know, like, that is how you become a 6-figure trader. In this room doing these strategies, generally speaking, the people who have made it are the people who just have that consistency to where they're just trusting the setups. Yes, they have down days and down months, and they go through hard times. We all do. But consistency is going to get you there. Consistency should be what you focus on this year, not P&Ls, because I will do some videos where I show big wins, and I'll actually do some when I show big losses and me trading stupid. You're not just going to see the good, you're going to see the bad. But Don't get wrapped around that. Don't get wrapped around what you could make if you caught the whole move. Just know that you can catch the move and that you'll catch the next one and that stocks are going to move every day and it's all good. Identify how to make the money and make the money. A little bit of a rant-ish there, but I really think it's important to focus on consistency and not one day in either direction. Anya's question, you mentioned that the way you used to see strategies change depending on the way the market is. What is the best advice you have in terms of tweaking the way you play the strategies? It depends on what way it's moving and why it's moving. If like last month, you had all this Elon selling in Tesla. So let's go to Tesla. Um, so let's go. We're looking at Tesla. Let's look at the daily. It's like, if you've got up here at all-time highs, and then Elon's like, I'm trying this trend line. I'm selling. I'm selling or something, and then everything like this day, it's tanking, and it's chopping around and it's tanking. Like, how is Tesla trading? Look at the market and see how the names you're playing are doing. Is there some type of catalyst? Like over here, Elon's like, I'm done selling. And it gaps up and it starts running, and you have these big runs. So you have short coverings and you have a lot of volume in the name. You know, is the Fed coming out and talking about like tapering and doing, what's it called? They're raising the interest rates, so the market is dropping, so you get some volatility. So you're actually having to aggressively, like you can what is it? Give trades a little bit more room. They're running a little bit more. You can be more aggressive with your plays. The tape's going really quick. Or is it a really slow day or slow area where you're getting like this day here in Tesla where you have, I know I'm just focusing on Tesla, but you have an inside day. And there's probably not a lot of action here. So you want to leave it alone, or you just want to play maybe 2-minute or 5-minute breakouts if you're doing this name. Looking at names like, Amazon. Look at this. There's nothing good in Amazon, really, generally speaking, lately. A lot of down and stuff. But if you're in the middle of a big up move for some reason, you could take more convictions. So I tweak the way I play strategies based on the market itself and how the names are trading. So it's like if I'm jumping in and jumping out. So generally speaking, what I tell new people, let's go back to this for a second. Sorry, I'm just trying to find something that I was thinking. This isn't important at the moment. So if you're a new person and you're noticing that you jump in Tesla and from your entry point, you give it 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, and it's kind of flat. Like, okay, I'm going to sell, and then 2 seconds later it drops, and you just keep having that happen over and over. You should be like, hey, I either need to wait a little bit longer to enter than when I feel is the right time to enter, because maybe I'm just seeing something and I need to wait a little bit longer. Maybe it's the last 10 seconds of a candle or something like that. Like, just move when you're entering a little bit. Or maybe I just need to give the room, maybe I need to take smaller size, and I need to give the trade a little bit more room. So instead of entering and then 3 seconds are up and I'm out, maybe I give it until the top of a candle or something, which is more risky in a name like Tesla, but maybe I'm going to give it, a few more seconds. And as long as I don't go down a point or something like that on my options, I'm going to just let it kind of bounce around a little bit. And it's a little bit more risk there. But so that's what I mean by adapting my strategy and tweaking it. Maybe instead of buying, like I talked about, and I'm just doing Tesla because it's all I traded this week. Maybe sometimes I talk about buying, let's see, like up here at the top. Let's see this run up. So like I talk about, like on this, if I was playing this up move here. All right, I'm not showing that. Here we go. So if I'm playing this up move in Tesla, you know, a lot of times we talk like maybe you're buying up here close to the trigger and it's whipping up and then whipping down and then going. Maybe instead of buying close to the trigger, you buy down here, like, you know, down here, like halfway to the trigger or something like that. So then if it gets near the trigger and it fails, you don't get shook out. So it's little things like that. It's like, okay, well, maybe it's whipping around in the middle, and then once it gets closer to the trigger, that's when the volume starts coming in. So maybe I do want to buy closer to the trigger. So you just kind of learn how you trade and what you can handle, and then you change when you buy the C strategies and how long you hold them based on how the market is reacting, how that name is trading that day, volatility, levels that are nearby, like whole dollar levels. And uh, and if Tesla is specifically your question, then this hopefully kind of answers it. So hopefully you have that the ability to kind of change where you buy and how you hold, and you give the trade either a little bit more room, a little bit less room. Sometimes you need to give the trade almost no room, sometimes you need to give it a lot of room. So you just change how you're buying the strategies and kind of where on the candle you're buying the strategy. And so that's kind of what I'm talking about when I say tweak the way you play it. You're tweaking how you buy and how long you hold. And do I recommend? Yes, 100%. So Anya's asking if I recommend screen recording all the time. Yes, for multiple reasons. One, if you have an error with the software, you can challenge trades. And CT said today he probably had 100 challenge trades with Charles Schwab, and he won most of them. I record my screen every day, even for not recording, because if I have an error with Fidelity or my other broker like E-Trade, and it's an error on their part, not my internet or something, or I get a fill that's wild or something else, I need to be like, I have proof, because they're not just going to give you your money back. So you do need to be recording. Most graphics cards can just record. You don't have to download anything. But OBS is free, and it's really good for recording. That's what I use. Totally free, OBS. And you can also look over your trades. So if you're having a hard time as a trader, go back, and you don't have to watch your whole day, but if you're wondering what you did wrong in the morning or what you did wrong in the afternoon or what you did right, you can go back and review that short time frame, because what that's going to help you do is see the same thing over and over, and you can start making adjustments and tweaks, and you can start being like, I could have done this, I could have done that. And then you don't want to overthink it, but then over time that will kind of stick with you, and you'll be able to, what's the word I'm looking for? You'll be able to identify those things in real time, and you'll be like, hey, I've read this book before. I've seen this movie before. I remember last time Tesla did this, so I'm going to do this. It was doing this yesterday, and I misplayed it. I wonder if I do this, which would have worked yesterday, let's say by a lower level, closer to when a candle closes, whether or not it goes up or down, and it would have worked yesterday. I wonder if that works today. And then you do that. So it allows you to review not only your mistakes and protect yourself from like Fidelity, Charles Schwab, whoever, an error on your broker's part. It also allows you to go back and review your trades. And especially if you're only doing 5 or 6 trades a day, why, that's not even a lot to review. Like, you should definitely be recording. So I am an experienced trader. I do this for a living, and I have all my trades recorded, and then I delete them after a week or something like that. So yes, if you're not recording your trades on a screen recording software, you're wrong. Jess asked, can I look at the weird part of the morning where all of a sudden Tesla's PI vanished? Hey, you sent me some stuff on this. I was watching a show with the wife. I didn't get to review those particular times, but I can go to your message and look at those if you want. I saw you said I could use them for the show. So we are looking at 10:46, 10:47. Let's see, and I'll give everything time to. I mean, it looks good, generally speaking. I do remember when this happened. You're getting increasing volume. Let's see. Give me a second to just review this area. I could go back and look at what I did. It just looks like it got choppy for a little bit, which happens sometimes. And I'm pretty sure we all came on the mic and just said it was bad for whatever reason. Let's see. Give me a second. I will be doing a video in the near future on my chart setups. For those who don't use TC2000, and I'll post a link to mine, what I use. Sorry, I'm just looking at a few things. I've got a couple other charts up I'm comparing this to, so I can see what the Qs and other stuff are doing here. 1046. I mean, honestly, the thing is, I don't see anything specific other than a lot of these candles were just kind of engulfing of the previous candle. So the only thing I'm noticing is that sometimes this happens, and it just is what it is. You're not getting a lot of increasing volume. It's already gone down a decent amount. It needed to breathe. So you had, here's my opinion, Jess. Just noticing this, and do excuse the coughing and stuff. I just got a dry throat. And I actually said this at the time, or was this yesterday? Y'all remind me if you remember if I said this on the mic. Since 10:03, we did not hit the 2-minute 21 or the 1-minute 21. So 10:03 till 10:57, almost an hour, Jess, without any hitting retest of this moving average, the 21 on the 1 minute. So you just had it hitting the 8 and dropping, and basically just hitting the 8 and dropping with good PI. And then around this area, this is actually a sideways kind of move if you were to draw like a line or whatever. Like, it's not really breaking down or anything. You have a little bit of one, but you're talking 1046 like area. So really in here, you know, there's no volume per se in this breakdown area. It's just kind of a chop fest. You know, I think I said at the time I really want this to hit the 21, and it did go lower, but the problem sometimes with something not hitting a moving average for a while is then it gets choppy and you don't get that volume drop. So you just get a little bit of a chop drop, and notice all these candles are basically inside the previous candle. It's like inside, outside, mostly inside, some inside, a little bit of drop. This was a drop and pop, so this one like went down and then popped, and then this one opened up, I guess, you know, up here and then dropped, and then so you can see how they're all trading that way. It never hit the 21. So when something's off the 21 for this long, and if I go to a stochastic, let me pull up my other display here. I don't know if I have it set up for you guys, but I'll look at it on mine. I don't have my stochastic. Do I have it set up? Okay, here's one of this. Here's a stochastic. Let's go to the time frame you're talking about. And here, first time hitting the 21. So, yeah, I mean, in this area, the stochastics are going up. So here's another thing, Jess. The stochastics are going up, and we're trying to short, and it needed to hit the 21. It didn't. It failed, and then it chopped around a while until the stochastics got down at the bottom, and then we finally got our pop to hit that 21. And I don't think you... Oh, you can see... Yeah, good. Y'all can see it. Is that the same area? No, let me drag this one over. Sorry, I don't use this particular chart that much. Checking out a 2-minute chart. 46, 48. Yeah, there's nothing special in here in these particular ones on the 2-minute because it had been hitting the 8. So to go back to it, that's my answer, is that it needed to hit the 21. And I'm 90% sure that me, CT, and some other people are saying the same thing. And it's not that it's not going lower. We're just sitting there like, hey, this needs to hit the 8, this needs to hit the 8, this needs to hit the 8. Or I'm sorry, the 21. And then look what happened after you hit the 21. You're there. Boom. There's your easy to make money in bar. It's above the 21. None of these, kind of a little bit of breakdown here, not really, chopped around a little bit, waited for it to go up. You probably had a green takes red or a 5-minute something in here, and then boom, it broke down. Pops back up, hits the 21. You know, you get these moves. So if I had to, you know, I don't know, I'm not a genius, but that's what I would tell you, is that at this point it needed to go up and hit another moving average. And sometimes after you catch enough of them, you should kind of chill. Yeah, highs and lows. I'm going to do this on a video that I'm going to do next week, Anya. Hang on. And then, so let me know if that answers, Jess, your question. So the easiest way to do what I did there was this and these. So chart properties. So if you go to chart properties in TC2000, you can show yesterday's clothesline, show yesterday's open. What CT does, I believe, CT, if you're still on, I see you're on. I think what he does in the names we watch is he's looking at yesterday's low and the previous day's low, so I'm not sure, but you can draw a line. I don't do this horizontal line. Is this it? Yeah, I think this is it. I think this is what CT does. So you can go in every day if you want to know where your yesterday's close was, and you can do this. And you can basically put it on it, and then you have a horizontal line, and that should translate to your 1-minute chart if I was looking at this. Yeah, see? And then you can see on here where it's at. So the next day when I come up, or like if Tesla's going through yesterday's high or low, you could see it on the chart, and there's usually resistance or support near those levels. So I don't know, CT is typing now, I'm not sure what he uses. Horizontal line's probably one of them, then I can delete it. Let's see if there's another one. Vertical line, horizontal line. You might just be able to do the trend, but I don't think that would be straight. I think that's the problem, is that I have to make it perfectly straight. Quad line. I've never messed with this part. That's why I'm... interesting. A lot of stuff you can do in TC2000. Please don't tell me I have that permanently on there now. I'll delete that later. So, yep. So he does horizontal line for previous days high and low, so you can see them when you're scalping small time frames, and then color code them so you know if it's a high or low. So you could do like a green. You could do this like this for this horizontal line and pretend it's like I actually set it up perfectly, and then you could go in here and you could edit it, and you can actually change the thickness. You could change the actual value. So instead of going in and like dropping it right on, I could just move the value to whatever yesterday's high and low was, and I could change the color to green. So now it's green, so whenever I'm day trading, and since it went through the low, for the sake of educational purposes, I'll put one here, and it clicks onto the low, so I know it's already accurate. But I could edit this, edit, and it'll make this red, and then I click OK, and then I go to my 1-minute chart in Tesla, and you see this line right here on my chart. And here's the 1-minute line on my chart. So this is yesterday's close, or sorry, yesterday's low. So I can see yesterday's low. So that's how you do that. And then now it's live on my daily chart. And if I go to this one, which is what I actually trade in, which is this main one here, I think Shift L makes it big screen. Yeah, you can see it here. This is what I look at during the day, is these 9 charts. So you can see that going through my chart. So it links to all of your charts. Shift L. So there you go. Whoever asked that question, Anya. So that's an important level to have. I actually don't do that, and CT always calls them out. So I don't know if I'm just gonna like bum off you, dude, probably just going to bum off you, but I guess if I was a good trader, I could do that too. I should definitely do it in Tesla and names that I trade a lot. If you're trading things a lot, it will definitely be good to do that. Yeah, snap. You can turn snap on here where you actually like when you're drawing something like the line, it actually snaps to a level. You could do that on the like the daily too. Like you could go into a level if you wanted something really quick. And I can just do that. Like I can just be like boom, you know, and then I can have it there. And then I know where the top of this range is. So if I was doing that on the daily, I can even do that. There's some good stuff there. It's been a little over an hour. Yeah, we all contribute. I'm good with continuing to answer questions. If y'all got some stuff. Point of the show tonight, consistency, consistency, consistency is going to get you the confidence you need to identify and change things. I don't use Bollinger Bands. They're something, I only use them on the daily, and it's something other people have done. Sorry for the, what's the word I'm looking for, the Spider-Man stuff here. I need to delete some of these lines, some old ones. So I use them, I don't use them, but I've used them in the past on some names, and I don't know if I have any examples, but it was like AMD here. So you could say, look what happens every time AMD hits like a Bollinger Band. It always goes up from there. So you look at this bottom. I don't know how well y'all can see it. I'll pretend that you can. But every time AMD has hit a Bollinger Band, this Bollinger Band, it's pretty much went up like statistically more than it hasn't. So you could use the Bollinger Band on AMD as a long. So right now it's going down to, you know, wherever it's at. If it goes through a Bollinger Band and I have a reason, like maybe one of these trend lines that I need to redraw hit or something. What am I doing? This one could probably be deleted for now anyway. It's gone through a couple of times. And it hits Bollinger Bands, and AMD bounces off Bollinger Bands. It could be a swing long, at least for like a day or something like that, because you can see it happened here. If you go all the way back, it happened here, you know, happened way back here. So it doesn't happen often, but that's what I use it for, is randomly seeing stuff and to see if I can see a trend. And it's not every name, but some names have it and some names don't have it. You know, that kind of trend, like NVIDIA kind of has it. Look at this in NVIDIA. It hit, you know, sideways a little bit, and then it's kind of a long-term trend. Up, same thing here. It hit and bounced and went up, back to Bollinger Band, so you can get a swing. Same thing here, same thing here. There may be other things that do it, but that's why I have it. I've had other people call stuff like that out before, and so I'm just watch for it. So I don't use it often, though. It's very, very rare. Yep, you're welcome. There are definitely probably better ways to use them, honestly. And if I learn, or you guys know something that I don't know, you know, let me know. And if there are ways that, you know, we can help each other and that y'all have that can help me identify things, you know, I'm all about doing it. I'm all about adding and trying stuff. It just has to fit into what I do. I generally don't go outside of the box until, like, I'm, you know, I need to. I don't, while stuff is working, I'm not, like, really looking for something else. I'm not in a hurry to stop, guys. I don't mind, you know, running the show a little bit. I'll probably cut some videos and do, as long as questions are coming in, I'll answer them. And then once I stop, I'll call it. Unless you guys have something else you want me to talk about or something you want me to hit up. Let's see. Chase asked in Discord. He's curious about other names like Facebook, Apple, AMD, NVIDIA, Rivian, Lucid, etc. So much of the time, I see them rest during the day, and many times I will take C strategies, and they just don't work like Tesla. You guys usually ignore these rests, but then sometimes rotate to them, and then they work. So what specific clues do tell you when these are good to trade after resetting and when the reset should be ignored? Well, the thing that makes Tesla work is you get follow through. So Facebook. I don't know specific. You asked for specific, and that's because a lot of times I just say, well, it's a feeling, um, which is true-ish. But so let's try to find an example here. We're going to use Facebook to answer your question, Chase. I hope this helps because I think I called this one out this morning. You have something like Facebook here, and the thing with us is I want to be right away, and I want to know that it works. So pop, pop, pop. Okay, it's trading above the first 2-minute high. You don't get a mark 1. You could have won and done these. You're above some moving averages. Here was the time to buy Facebook when it went through the 200 on the 2-minute. This is the 1-minute chart. This is a Kelly strategy. This exploded with volume through here. And you could have played this green takes red for money. But when we rotate to the names, they're continuing to work. Or there's a trigger nearby. So the problem with Facebook right now, I think, and CT, you can jump in Discord. Anybody else, if you have a question to this, you can jump into it. I don't rotate to things that aren't working right away. So it was like Facebook, I was in it. I took this trade and I was up 20 cents and then it just ripped down and I lost 20 cents because I was holding for a move. Granted, I could have scalped it, but I was like, okay, I know your limit 8 didn't work. I'm done with it. Basically at that point, it's like if Facebook was strong and going to go higher, then I would have continued. Then I wanted this to actually rip. If this would have went through days highs, I would have been like, Facebook, guys, Facebook, Facebook. So it's having, oh, sorry. So to say that again, going up, the time to get it would be to when it broke the 200 and all that stuff. So it comes down here and it breaks up through the 8. I was up 20 cents. It dropped down. I ended up losing. I was like, well, this is annoying. And then I was like, well, let's try it again. It went up, and then it actually went down. And I was just, man, I can't seem to play this one right. And it's not that there was no money to be made, but if I would have rotated and stayed on Facebook, if once it hit the 8, it actually triggered on volume and kept going higher. But instead, it crawled up. A little bit of a volume pop here is when it broke the 2-minute 200, and then it was basically done. And it hit the 8 and failed to continue higher and went sideways for a little bit and then went a little bit higher and then just fell off and the market started selling off. And when the market's going short, like it has been, kind of hard to pick these names and go long in them, especially when Tesla is working. So specifically what I look for, and someone else can answer if they look for something different, but why we don't rotate and stay in names is you're not getting paid right away. Like in Tesla, you're getting paid and the moves are bigger and quicker. So AMD, it's like, yeah, AMD pulled down some here. Let's look at this part, you know, a little bit of increased volume, you know, the market's selling off, like I'm going to take it. But look at each one of these candles. It's an inside candle basically. It's like inching down and each candle's popping some, so your contracts probably really aren't moving sideways, a little bit of pop, you know, like you might barely be up and you've held the name for 5 minutes. So when that is what's going on, hang on, when this is what's going on, you don't play the name. So if I was going to play this, I would want to see some candles like this on volume and then continuing. And I'd want to get this know your limit 8 here, except it needs to be higher than this. But I want to get this know your limit 8 and I want to see this. And then I want to see a mark 1 work. And then I want to see it pull down to an 8 and I want to see the 8 work. So these names take a lot longer to work. They're generally slower, grindy names. And when you have a name like Tesla working, yeah, you could have just shorted AMD and you would have made money. But it doesn't work the same way. It's not as quick. And like CT saying, it's not as gratifying and instant gratification, which is kind of what we look to. So that's like a long-winded answer. And there's probably a shorter one. So, you know, hopefully it's not too long-winded for you. But generally, that's why we play those names. Is if I'm playing Amazon or if I'm playing Facebook, AMD, and I've made a lot of money in those names, but if they're not working like Tesla, like Apple, there are days when I can trade Apple, and I like to trade it because I'll take 100 contracts and I'll make, you know, a point or something on them, or 50 cents on them pretty quickly. But if it's not moving in a way that I can make 20 to 50 cents on it in under a minute, then I don't want to trade it, generally speaking. And I get that in names. So the only time I rotate and stick with names like Apple and Facebook and stuff is when Tesla's not working. So that's the long and short of that answer, to be honest with you. So hope that makes sense. What CT said, he said it better than me. So so for you other guys who do want to use C strategies, as a quick answer, especially for beginning and stuff, it works on other names. If I can quickly look at this, and then if y'all don't have anything, I'll go. But like if you were looking at this above the first 2 minute, like you could one and done Apple here, wait for it to go down, it hit the, or go sideways, it hit the 8, and then buy it, and you could, maybe catch some here. Today wasn't a great day. It goes down. Like you can make money in these names, short and long. They work. We just play the more aggressive names. But C strategies still work in names like Apple and Facebook and all the other ones. I swear we're not just Tesla traders. I just want that same move, and I don't want to trade this in Apple. Oh man, that looks scary bad. Sorry, that looks scary bad. I forgot I wasn't sharing my screen. That looks scary bad. So do you guys got anything else for me? Well, I definitely don't mind continuing. Definitely don't mind if there's anything else off the top. If not, I don't see anything coming in, so giving that delay. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for staying. Had a blast. Wow, sorry, hang on. Got something here from Jess. I mean, so do I? No, I got time graph. Post again. I'm not in a hurry. Like video's been going on. I don't want to keep going. Oh wait, do you have strategies within 1 or 2 minute chart to get a good front run entry on a 5-minute breakout? Yeah, I'm going to be posting a lot of videos with some of this stuff. And then Jess, I'll answer your question. It was a little bit longer. You go 1 minute into a 2 minute into a 5 minute and stuff. Let's see. Not within a 1 or a 2 minute chart, no. If you watch my last video of how I trade Tesla, it's not a strategy, but watch the 2 videos I posted of the 17K and the 15K, and I'm going to do another one where that's just me doing stuff, talking. Like I've recorded my audio throughout the day, so I'm going to post some of those to YouTube too. So I'll put those up, and there's no strategy, it's a feel, and it's experience. It's sitting in front of the tape and watching the level 2 move and move and move, and then you take it. Like I take this strategy, I take this strategy, I take this strategy. It's not a what's the word I'm looking for? It's not a strategy within that's official. It's just like I'm buying at 25 cents before it triggers. I'm just buying at $1 before it triggers. It's like if Tesla is trading at 1,070 and it drops 3 points, like let's say the average candle is moving like 4 points, and then it drops down like 2 points, and then it goes back up 50 cents, I buy. But it's all a feeling. There's no official strategy. It's kind of just like experience, noticing how big the candles are and how small they are, how much the average candle's moving. It drops down a little bit, and then it just starts ripping. And you kind of get that feeling watching the tape a lot and just noticing how something's trading, and then you just buy within that next candle, anticipating the strategy working. So it's like I'm going into the strategy anticipating it's going to work. Okay, if it works, where would I like to enter? Okay, this is where I would like to enter. And and you basically have the strategy before you enter of like, okay, I'm just going to enter here expecting the strategy to work. It didn't work. Okay, I'm out. But there's nothing written down. That's a strategy within a strategy, sort of just experience in front of the mic. So on the topic of winning, so Jess, I think what you're asking is if I'm sized down, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm trading let's say I'm trading 5 contracts, and I'm trying to find something that works, and then something works, and then I'm like, okay, I'm going to size up now, and then I lose, and it wipes out everything because now I've sized up, and let's say I was up $1,000, and then I tripled up. How do I handle that? And won't that make me toxic? I don't really see. I don't know what the question is other than the statement. Generally, I don't size up very much. So it's like I size up when I'm trying to find something that's working. Or sorry, I'm generally trading early with like 1 to 5 contracts, let's say, to try to find something that's working. And then I just go to my default size based on the day's conviction. I almost never change my tier size throughout the day. And I'm trying to think through, but I almost never change tier size. I'm just trading normally, let's just say 10 contracts. Like if you watch all those Tesla videos, which I know you did, like my tier size never changed. I never did 20, you know. And so I generally just stick to a size and stuff. And if I'm doing that, and if I size up, I go into it knowing that I say go into the trade knowing you can lose a point or twice the spread. So in Tesla, knowing I could lose a point to 2 points, is the size I'm taking going to wipe out like everything I made? So if I'm doing 10 contract trades, and let's say I built up $6,000 worth of wins, and then I'm like, okay, I'm doing really good. I'm taking 30 contracts. Okay, 1 point is $3,000. And if the spread is a point to 2 points in a whippy Tesla, I'm like, okay, so in other words, 1 win could wipe out my last 30 minutes. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Like, heck no, son. Heck no. So, the long and the short of the answer is I don't do that. And I just stick consistently with what's working. And some days I start off with 20. Or if there's a massive trigger and I get a perfect entry and I feel it, sometimes I size in, but I just know that if I lose, I'm giving up the last 30 minutes, and I have to be cool with that going into it. And if it is something I'm thinking about, then I don't do it, because I can't be thinking about the size. I can't be thinking about how much I'm going to make or not make. And so if sizing up is me trying to make more money, then it's not smart, and I try not to do it. Even if I'm down, I'm like, man, if this works, I can get my whole day back in this one trade, so I'm going to take 50 contracts. Yeah, you probably shouldn't do that. It's not a good decision factor. So I generally stick with the same contract size unless there's a reason not to stick with that contract size. And I realize that, let's say I'm up $6,000, I'm not going to size from 10 to 30 and then take a chance on losing all of that in 2 bad trades. So you just have to know stuff like that and kind of comprehend that within your size. And just, if you're winning on 5 to 10 contracts, why would I size up? Like, I can make 10 contracts and have a 5-figure day. Like, I'm logging off when I get above 10 grand 90% of the time, and a run's done. And I'm going to tell you guys deuces, and I'll hang out and help people make money. And if something happens, I'll catch it. But like at that point, I'm pretty much done. I'm not trading aggressive. I'm not doing anything. So I generally I don't need to take more than 10, is what I'm realizing. I can, but I don't need to. So I've kind of cut back on some of that stuff. And it cuts back on my losses too, and it cuts back on me giving back, because I've done what you're saying, and I have done that. I've been up, a lot of money. Let's say I've been up, I've given, I think one of my worst days, no, it wasn't one of my worst, a bad day, I was probably up like 20 or 30 grand, and I traded and did that, and then I went down 20 or 30 grand, and then I think I ended there, or I might have made some back. So it's very easy to do that. And I was like, yo, I'm not doing this again. So it's something I've adapted over the course of trading, and now I no longer try to do that. I no longer try to force things like that and catch those things. And this is working. I'm sizing up. I kind of just stick with it because it's working. You're comfortable. You're not thinking about the size. Click, 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 and then all of a sudden, if you start thinking about size and you size up, it becomes a mistake, and then it becomes something you shouldn't have done. Even if it works, you end up giving back. I've almost never seen a size where sizing up into moves helps me. So I hope that kind of clears it up a little bit. I agree with TT there. What are you saying in Discord? Longest show yet. Happy Friday. So, waiting. If there's no other questions or anything thrown in, I'll give it a second. I'll talk to Ditter about that intro, making it a little bit longer. Like, add another 5 seconds to it or something. I think that's a good idea. But I hope this was helpful tonight. At least just a good reminder. Like, I think we all kind of need to be reminded of things and talk about them and not forget things that we already know, because it's so easy to brain dump things and to get focused and forget how we got where we got, and to focus in on the psychology and the consistency. And I don't want my shows to become about my wins as far as like how much I make. I don't mind talking about it. It doesn't bother me, win or loss. I have no doubt I'll be showing y'all a 25K red day video or something like that. I hope not, but I will, because it's me. So we'll probably see stuff like that. I really don't mind. But I don't want it to be about P&L every day. That's not the point of what we do here. I show stuff like that to give people hope and confidence, and just to show what you can do when you learn how to trade this stuff, and when you do this stuff, and when you're taking strategies, and it can be learned. I'm an example of it can be learned. And to end, kind of, unless a good question or a question comes in, and I'll hang out in Discord. We can talk some more afterwards, guys, and I'll end the show here in just a few seconds. But we'll talk in Discord if y'all want to chat more. But like the video if you would like to. If you think there's some good stuff here, leave a like, share it with your friends, subscribe. I really appreciate it. It would mean a lot. It's not like I get paid to do this, but I really enjoy hanging out. So if you think it was good, definitely leave a like. But to circle back around to what I kind of started with, which now I'm losing my train of thought, but the good, consistent winning and trading, it can be accomplished, and it's going to be accomplished by getting rid of the toxicity in your trading, and by trading intelligently, and by trading smart, not by just slamming into things, not by being aggressive, but by building up confidence in yourself and your ability to where you can identify these things and start, making shifts and making changes, and that's going to help you break out and break through. Not big days, not P&L. That's why I'm not focused on P&L, because if I did, it would only hurt people. It would only hurt people, and that's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to help people make more than me and to be better, and I think you can do that. You're going to do that by having a lot of green days, not by having big days. So keep adding those green days up in 2022. Keep adding them up this week, and stay focused on that, not on P&Ls that I or other people post, not on you had a red day or somebody else's or anything else. Stay focused and stay intelligent. Build up your green days and your confidence in your ability to trade the strategies that we talk about here. I'll have a lot of stuff coming out soon. You can always write me, and I'll do the best I can to get back to you. If you have any questions, or guys, leave them in the comments. Come join in Discord, chat in Discord. Discord's free and open. I'll post a link to it. It lasts for about a week or so in the description of this video before it expires, so you can hang out here and chat with us, see what we do, be parts of the shows, send me questions, whatever you'd like to do. So thank you again all for hanging out with us. I appreciate it. I'll be hanging out on Discord for a little bit. If y'all want to hop over there, we can chat some more if people have questions. If not, it's been a pleasure, guys. Thank you for spending your Friday with me. Thanks for the trading, the advice this week, helping me make money. I hope y'all did the same. Let's keep trading smart. Let's keep helping each other out. Let's keep growing. So Salancha, and I will see you all next week.